to the channel. Today we're checking out a guitar that's new to me but was originally released back in 2005. I am of course talking about this lovely Ibanez RG2620 from the Prestige range. So like I said, this guitar came out back in 2005 and it did run for 2 years. However, it only ran for 1 year in what they call cubed blue. Now I know this is going to be quite a Marmite colour, but personally I think it's really cool and I haven't seen anything quite like it. And honestly I couldn't tell you exactly how they actually do this finish because it has got a texture to it as well. As for the rest of the guitar, it's fairly standard as you'd expect from the Ibanez Prestige series and an RG. So we've got a basswood body, a 5-piece maple and walnut neck with a rosewood fretboard. We've got Goto tuners, a locking nut, which obviously goes with the Ibanez Edge Pro trem, and it is a Prestige Wizard neck profile, which I didn't think I was that into until I played this one, having only really played cheaper Wizard necks, but I have to say this one is really nice. Now you might be able to see in the guitar cam, but this particular guitar has had a refret and it's been refretted with stainless steel frets. Now it's not been done to the best standard. The fret job itself is absolutely fine, but at certain points you can see a lot of overspill on the glue. But that doesn't really affect the way it plays, and it meant that I got a really good deal on this guitar. Electronics wise, we've got a 5-way blade selector switch, a volume, a tone, and Ibanez and Damasio collaboration IBZ pickups, which are quite high output but with a sort of vintage voicing, to my ear at least anyway. And I know that the bridge pickup is loosely based on a super distortion. So as I said, fairly standard specs as you'd expect from a Prestige Ibanez. At least for 2005, I know they've changed the spec somewhat since then. So let's see how it sounds. So I'm plugged into a Marshall SV20H, which is a plexi style head, and I'm going into a Zillacab's Greenback IR. So we'll start on the neck pickup, and on a fairly clean tone, although these pickups are quite hot, it sounds like this. I do love the tremolo system, it is great fun, this being the first guitar that I've owned that has one on it, or at least a locking style trem that is. So that was the neck pickup. Now if we go to position 2, what that will do is split the neck pickup and gives us a more single coily tone, and that sounds like this. Now that to my ear isn't the best sounding split single coil sort of tone from a humbucker, but that's not a particular thing with these pickups. I just find that higher output, hotter humbuckers never really coil split that nicely, or not to my ear anyway. So moving on into the middle position, that then gives us both humbuckers, and that sounds like this. Then moving on to position 4, and that gives us the bridge humbucker split, which sounds like this. And then finally, as you'd expect, the last position, position 5. Now as you'd expect from this guitar, it's not really about the clean tones, so I'm just going to kick on a Tube Screamer style overdrive and give it a bit of a boost so you can hear it with some distortion. Not quite enough gain to be doing dive bombs like this, but You get the idea. So that's very similar to the rhythm tone that you heard in the intro to this video. But hopefully that gives you an idea of some of the tones. I don't think there's really a whole lot more to say on this guitar. I mean, as you'd expect from a Japanese-made prestige Ibanez, it plays great, it sounds great. I have heard people online say that they find these pickups to be a bit bland, but for me personally, I was looking for some higher output, sort of passive pickups, and it does exactly what I was hoping for. I do find that they're more sort of a vintage voicing, and so it really makes you want to play, as you heard sort of my attempt at it in the intro. It really wants to make you play sort of 80s hair metal kind of stuff and do all the dive bombs and silly stuff with the whammy bar. But yeah, it's kind of, like I said, exactly as you'd expect from Ibanez. It's great quality, it plays lovely, sounds great, and yeah. So you can pick these up, at least in the UK, generally around the £1,100 to £1,200 range, although you do get a few deals. I paid a fair bit less than that for this one because of the fret job that I mentioned earlier. But I would definitely recommend at least giving one of these a play, or really any of the other sort of RG Prestiges from around this time period. They all seem to sit around a similar price point. So if you see one second hand, definitely worth giving it a quick whirl and see what you think. But I think I've covered more or less everything. I don't think there's really anything more for me to say. So let me know your thoughts on this guitar and Ibanez in general down in the comments section. And what do you think of this finish? Because I'm expecting it to be quite a Marmite thing in the comments section. I know some people are going to love it like I do, and some people not so much. So let me know your thoughts on that too. But that's it from me today. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.